Hello. So today I wanted to film a video kind of explaining my Goodreads shelves. If you are friends with me on Goodreads, which you definitely can be, the link is always in the description, you may notice that some of my Goodreads shelves are just fucking weird. Like I've got the usual ones. I've got like a monthly shelves for books that I read in each month, and honestly at this point I have not been using them as much as I used to, apart from the monthly ones. But let's go through them. Let's go through them. If I have the stamina and the will, I will put up kind of a picture of what we're doing. Maybe, hold on. Perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so we've got obviously our want to read, currently reading, read. Fun fact is right now I've read 1,800 books. That's pretty fun. Now we get into the fun one. First we got which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 A's and then GH. And what that basically means is if we take a look at some of the books we've had, here, there seems to be absolutely no real rhyme or reason. I think if it just makes me feel a strong emotion, that's where it goes. Actually, a little angry loving this, that one I didn't want to enjoy. That's one either it's like poorly written or I thought I wasn't going to like it. So if I go in there, we've got stuff like A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, or Flamecaster by Cindy Williams Chima, Go Ask Alice, stuff like that, Tony Hawk's autobiography. And suddenly Columbine, which means that suddenly it became a school shooting book, and suddenly Dahmer, which means that suddenly somebody started eating people or there was a serial killer or something like that, and suddenly Nazis, which means suddenly there were Nazis. 21, really? 21 books. The Young World, Time Bomb. I guess I don't really know if I have Purple Hearts by Michael Grant in there, and I don't really know if you can call that suddenly Nazis, because that's a World War II series. Either way. And suddenly West Memphis 3, which is when suddenly there's wrongful conviction. There's one book in there, and it is Devil House by John Darnielle. So that's fun. We've got April 2015 to 2022. My highest April was 2022, or 51 books. Audio cassette, which means I listened to it on audio cassette. We got August, Better Than Expected. Kind of, I think, falls into the same range as what's it called? The I didn't want, like, A Little Angry But Loving This, where I didn't think it was going to be that good, but in this case I'm not mad about it. Book club, which means that I had to read it for some kind of book club. What books are in there? I'm never in book club. Oh, okay, all of those were books that I read with my roommates in college. There are 5 of them. By me, which I clearly have not been keeping up because there are only 2 books in there. It's just the Capulet Magazine Volume 4, because I have an essay in there, and The False Prophet. So clearly I'm not keeping that one up. Cheesy teen horror, which is kind of exactly what it says on the tin. Childhood Revisited means that I enjoyed it in childhood. Confused but I like it means I don't know what's going on, but damn if I didn't have a fun time. What do we got in there? We got stuff like Mitglue by Tessa Moshfegh, Bunny, The Dinner, I Am the Cheese by Robert Cormier, Night Film, Foxfire, stuff like that. Oh, that's, yeah, Books of Blood. I'm thinking of ending things. Connected with the main character means that I really had a deep connection with the main character. Damn, the boy can write doesn't mean it doesn't have to be a boy, but if the authors are if I feel like the author's a really good writer, it goes in there. Who do I have in there? This makes me want to use my shelves a little bit more, which is probably good. Lots of Stephen King. There's a lot of Stephen King. Some Damien Eccles, William Golding, Richard Peck, Clive Barker, the Oeuvre de Camille Desmoulins, which are it's French propaganda from the French Revolution in French. Bruce Dickinson. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Then we've got David Bowie, which I'm not sure what that means. Oh, I know Kiss the Fae is in there. I know that's because it was a labyrinth retelling. I don't know why Bunny's in there. I don't remember. I read that this year. I don't remember why it's in David Bowie. Dear God, which I think is mostly for horror-y stuff. I'm pretty sure it's for horror-y stuff. If I go in there and it's not a bunch of horror, I'm going to be really confused. Yeah, it's mostly a bunch of horror. It's like if I was shocked by something, or if it's a little gory. Then we've got All My Decembers. Dramatic music necessary means that I need dramatic music. Dude and Ish, which kind of feel along the same lines, but dude is like less of like a there's a dude, more like dude, and ish is like ooh, so kind of gory. 8th grade and 11th grade, I do have a couple of shelves that are more like geared towards what are books that an 8th grader might want to read, because I have them linked to my school page at the school I work at, so that's what those are. Emptied out my chest means that when I finished reading it, my chest felt like a hollow shell of itself. Everyone is awful means all the main characters and all the characters were just terrible people. Everyone will die means that, like, so many characters died. Favorites, self-explanatory. February, which has got a we're at February. We've got from this year when I read 52 books in February, and 2020 when I read 1 book. That's because I was mostly reading War and Peace. Then we got Find Yourself White Dude, which is normally, and it's a little bit, it's not like super strict, but if we've got a book about a white guy who just like finds himself, it could be a white girl too. But that's fun. First reads, books home from Goodreads. 4 review, books I got for review. 4 school, books I read for school. Fucking Komaeda, which is when a character reminds me of Nagito Komaeda from Danganronpa. Fun times, man, means I had a lot of fun. God damn it, I learned something. Normally nonfiction, I think. Let me look in there, see if it's nonfiction. No, not always. Not sure what I learned from Heretics Anonymous, but apparently I learned something. God, the gore, really gory. Hate the concept is like the opposite of like I love the concept, but the book doesn't work for me. It's like I hate the concept. I think the concept is so dumb. I have 1 book in it. Let's see what it is. It's Crescent City. It's House of Earth and Blood. That's fair. Hell yeah means it was just fun. Hey bro, diversity means that there were lots of like characters from marginalized groups. Hates the Chocolate War means it reminds me of the Chocolate War. Some of these books were published before the Chocolate War, I can guarantee you. Yeah. A Separate Piece is in there. But yeah, like Separate Piece, Chocolate War, Brutal Youth, Paper Covers Rock, Beyond the Chocolate War, Inventing Elliot, I Must Betray You, I guess. The Long Walk, Lord of the Flies. Which is just like, I'm not sure what to think about it. Holy Side Characters, which means that I love the side characters. Which I think is very similar to but it's just like whatever I'm feeling. I fell in love with the book, which means I just really, really loved it. I hate the phrase LOL, but I mean, which means it was funny enough that I laughed out loud. I'm angry. I don't really know what that means. What was I angry about? Reagan Bone Trap, Young World. That's because the Young World sucked. That's why I was angry about the Young World. Mercy, because I hated it. Smothered, because it was bad. Yeah, Devil House and Different Stars Above, Mongrel. Yeah. I guess this is, again, more of a vibes thing. IDK What's Happening, but I like it, which is very similar to Confused, but I like it. Is This VC Andrews, which normally means that there was incest. So if we go in there are 9 books in there. Forbidden Garden, incest. How I Live Now, incest. The Secret History, incest. The Mind Reader. Was there incest in The Mind Reader? Maybe. Tampa. Not incest, but other bad stuff. Was there incest in Asylum? I don't remember there being incest in Asylum. Flowers in the Attic. Corpse Party, Volume 4. There was some weird going on there. And Exorcism, incest. So that's what that means. Issue book, which means that the book was written for like an issue and not like for being... sorry, I'm trying to get my steps. Did I get them? I only needed 14. I didn't want to get up. I think I got them. Okay, step. Yeah, I got them. Okay, we're good. Issue, so like it's more about like an issue and less about actually telling a story. So not saying that it's bad for books to have issues that they want to tell, but it's better if you can tell a story. Like stuff like Go Ask Alice, which is just anti-drug propaganda, or The Last Christian, which is like 100% the worst book I've ever read. And not all of these were bad books, like Birthday by Meredith Russo. Yeah. That one very clearly had an issue and stuff that I was trying to talk about, but it was also a good story. So these are not a lot of Ellen Hopkins in here too. So they're not necessarily bad books. They're just not they just definitely have an issue that they're trying to tell. It is so bad, and I love it so much, which means that it's not a good book, but it's a fun book. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of pulpy horror in here. Yeah, The Hospital Horror, Gemini Smile, Gemini Kill, Whisper of Death, Fantastic Land, Funland, Prank Night, Asylum. Yeah, these are all books that I just like, that were just really fun to read, but they weren't like really good. It's Not You, It's Me. Either either I like it or I don't. It's not the book's fault. It's my fault. Let's see. Yeah, so we've got books like Beyond the Red, which I didn't like, but I don't like sci-fi, or books like I think High Magic, which I love. Damien Eccles' writing style, but I don't know about the whole magic thing. Halloween is an example of the opposite, where it's like, is it a good book? No. Did I love it? Yes, I rated it 5 stars. So that's fun. Then we've got January, July, June. Kindle, which means I finished it on my Kindle. There is a solid 1 book in that one. King and Kid Protagonist, which means that's a Stephen King book, and it was about had a kid protagonist. Lane Moreau would like these guys. Lane Moreau is a character in Chuck Wendig's Heartland trilogy. I think it's the Heartland trilogy. I don't remember. But he is like a revolutionary kind of kid, and he's just like my favorite. He's my favorite character from that series, and so if they're like kind of like outcasts, I'm like, yeah, let's do that hockey, which is a reference to an old SNL skit. It's not actually super old, but it's oldish. Where they've got like this guy who clearly doesn't know anything about hockey. He normally covers like basketball and stuff. Is put in charge of like covering hockey, and he goes, "Let's do that hockey." It's not necessarily about books that have to do with hockey. It's just any sports really. So we got a lot of hockey, but like Beartown and Us Against You, which is hockey. But then like My Eyes Are Up Here, which is like volleyball, and The Pride of the Yankees, which is baseball, and it's nonfiction. Vampire Breath by R.L. Stine. Summer Sons, which is about like drag racing. The Cheerleaders, which you could probably guess. The Horror at Camp New Woods, which I wrote. I guess they go to like a sporty summer camp. I guess that was my reasoning there. Okay. LGBT main characters, kind of self-explanatory. Library, but I had to buy it. Also self-explanatory. Life Ruiners, which means that it made me cry. Love the Concept, which is the opposite of Hate the Concept, where I love the concept whether I like the book or not. Like Devil House, Hanako and the Terror of Allegory, and Corpse Party 4. I actually loved all 3, at least a 4-star. So that's fun. LPOTL recommended, which is books that I read because of the last podcast on the left. So now we've got Devil in the White City, The Road to Jonestown, Man with the Candy, Columbine, Panzram, If I Did It, last book on the left, Dracula Killer, Indifferent Stars Above. So true crime stuff, essentially. We got March, May, meh, which just means it was pretty meh. Music memoir, which means that it's the musician memoir. I've only got 4 of them in there. Whose do I have in here? Oh, Billy Idol's, Duff McKagan's, Chuck Klosterman's Fargo Rock City, which is not, he's not a musician, but it was about music, and Ozzy Osbourne. I know I've read more, but I just didn't put them in. 9th grade, which is, again, for 9th graders. Nodak mentioned, which means that North Dakota was mentioned in the book. Not necessarily happened in North Dakota, but it was mentioned, because I live in North Dakota, and we do not get mentioned much. We got It. We got Everything's Eventual. We got Lolita. Lolita? When was it? Okay. The Roundhouse, that's by Louise Erdrich, so she's from North Dakota. We got some hockey books. We've got, obviously, Panzram, because he's from East Grand Forks, which is in Minnesota, right across the river from regular Grand Forks, which is in North Dakota. If It Bleeds, Columbiner, all my books are set in North Dakota, except for like the Out the Boys ones. So yeah, those are really fun. Fargo Rock City, nonfiction, self-explanatory. Got November, and then we've got occult nonfiction, which is like nonfiction except for it's about fake stuff. So we've got stuff like How to Read Tarot Cards, The Amityville Horror, Why Johnny Can't Come Home, American Monsters, Here's to My Sweet Satan, Damien Eccles books, The Strange Women of the Occult, Communion by Willie Schreiber, stuff like that. Pyrokinesis. October, of course, Kurt Cobain, which means Kurt Cobain was mentioned or referenced. Oh My God and Okay Then, which are both kind of similar, just different vibes. On the good side of meh, which means it was kind of meh, but it was better than just meh meh. So maybe like a low 4 or like a high 3. Poetry, self-explanatory. Research, which I think I just made so that I could say that I read Skateboard Breakdown and not feel stupid. But there was also like all of my West Memphis Street stuff is on here. True Stories of False Confessions. Mustaine? What was Mustaine research for? Was that for the Vendettic books? I think I put that there because of the Vendettic books. Really hate the main character and really love the main character. I only really hate 6 main characters and I really love 72, so that's good. The main characters I hate are the main characters in Darkest Night, Skinny, in Instance of the Finger Post, The Click, Mercy. Oh god, I hated Mercy by Jodi Picoult, and The Curse of Camp Cold Lake. And I loved 72, so that's good. Sad Now, Thanks a Lot. I didn't necessarily cry, but it made me really sad. We got September, we got 7th grade. So much is happening, which means that it was just incredibly intense, and it's just like wild and crazy. What do I have there? What do I have in there? Probably like the Gone series is my guess. Cabin at the End of the World. I'm thinking of Ending Things, All the Ugly and Wonderful Things, The Days of the French Revolution. There's the Gone, Empire the Vampire, stuff like that. Stuff for the Children. That one was fucked up. Oh man, you get to the scene with like the dead cat. That's fucked up. Okay. Then we've got sports manga, which is again very self-explanatory. I don't think I use these anymore, which is sad because I should have a lot of Haikyuu in there, and it's literally just all I Shield 21. I should have Haikyuu in there too. Straight up abuse, which means that there was just straight up abuse going on there. We got books like Orbiting Jupiter, Devil House, Before We Disappear, The Cruel Prince, Like Hell, which is my book, and 19 Minutes, which was a much better Jodi Picoult book. I was very happy that I liked it. Superpowers means there are superpowers. Swytex, which is a reference to Gary D. Schmidt's books, like Okay for Now. So if there's Swytex in there, like in Orbiting Jupiter and Okay for Now, it gets put in there. Teared up a little. I didn't cry, but I did tear up. 10th grade. The Fathers and the Mothers. So those ones are like, if it's like a major part of the story, like fatherhood or motherhood, that they go in there. So we got books like Scream All Night in the Fathers, stuff like Scream All Night, where like a main part is that this guy's estranged father is like giving him the company, or Heretics Anonymous, where there's bad father stuff, Birthday, My Friend Dahmer, stuff like that, or if the characters are fathers, like in Thinner. So that, yeah, if there's importance there, like My Heart Is a Chainsaw, the horror at Camp Newwoods, which is mine again. Or The Mothers, where we've got A Mother's Reckoning by Sue Klebold. Why Johnny Can't Come Home by Noreen M. Gosh. Birthday is also in The Mothers. Beartown's in The Mothers. Everything like that. So if motherhood is important, or if mothers are important in the book, that's where they go. Then we've got the one where they're all dogs or something, except for it cuts off after S because they didn't have enough room. This is a reference to the Goosebumps book, and also mostly the Blogger Beware, which is not, you can find it in the Wayback Machine, but it's not online anymore, which is the funniest like Goosebumps recaps. But there, if something just goes completely off the rails, especially if people turn into animals, that's where this goes. So we got stuff like, I put Mongrels in there. We got Land of the Lawn Weenies. We've got Fly in the Wall, Watership Down, House of Earth and Blood through Wolf. Just like if stuff just goes absolutely crazy or bonkers, and especially if there's some sort of transformation, that's where this goes. This is just Mara Dyer, which is there's only one book in there, and it's The Murmurings, and that's because I finished it and I was like, this is just Mara Dyer, and so I made a shelf for it. We've got This Is So Happy, To Buy, To Reread, which I have not touched since I want to say 2012. I should delete those ones. We've got Top 11 of 2015. Let's see what my top 11 books of 2015 were, and my top 14 of 2014. My top 11 books of 2015 were Half Wild, the first Magnus Chase book, Atlanta Burns, More Happy Than Not, King's Shield, Black Iris, that was my favorite, Of Grunge and Government, This Dark Endeavor, Black House, Not Otherwise Specified, and The Picture of Dorian Gray. What about in 2014? Thief's War, Battle Royale, Liza Locklamora, The Quick, Proxy, More Than This, and Brutal Youth. I got some good, like, mainstay favorites in here, man. Blightborn, Vicious, Golden Boy, The Dead. Oh, The Dead. I just reread that one. Revival, Berserk Apocalypse, Game of Thrones. All right. We got 12th grade, Wow, which is kind of, similar to like Oh My Gods, and same with What. So I don't really know what's going on. Where is Hall of the Mountain King, which is a reference to the song uh, let me find it and play this one. This is mostly the stuff in here is like theme park stories, and it's because of this Goosebumps Return to the Carnival of Horrors, because in the original Carnival of Horrors, for some reason I associate with Hall of the Mountain King, the original Carnival of Horrors, and I read Return to the Carnival of Horrors and they didn't mention it, and I was mad, and so then it ended up, like, Fantastic Land is in here, Goodnight Pun Pun for some reason, I don't know, I just got vibes. That's how I shelve things. Why, which is, again, it's just like, I don't know why this happened. Would like to read it in English. We've got La Chute by Albert Camus, Les Oeuvres de Camille Desmoulins, Madarata Cantabile by Marguerite Duras. So all the stuff I had to read for French class, and Camille Desmoulins, which I read for fun. Then, almost done here. We've got Would Make a Good Movie, which are books that are not movies that I think should be made into movies. So we've got Broken Things by Lauren Oliver, Birthday, Night Film. I still agree with that. Freaks, None Shall Sleep, No Exit, which is actually a movie. Apparently the movie sucks though. Apparently they don't really do it right. Summer Suns, Fantastic Land, Book of Accidents, stuff like that. Writing, which is I believe books about writing. Wrongful Conviction, which is books about wrongful conviction. So there are only 4 in there, which is weird. So we got Broken Things, Two Dead Girls, My Sister, My Love, Terrified. Okay. And then we've got Yeah Man, okay, which is where I just like agreed with whatever was happening. So we got Rebel Girls, History Is All You Left Me, Sora Shannara. It's just like, okay. And Year of Cosmere, which is, again, I have not touched in years and years and years. That was years ago. And finally, just Yes, where I just apparently just agreed with the book. Just yes, yeah. So Standoff, Half Wild, The Color Purple, Atlanta Burns, Battle Royale, Kigaro Days, Lord of the Flies, Damned, Song of Achilles, Pun Pun. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, those are my Goodreads shelves. I don't know if this explained anything. I just thought it was really fun. Like, it was just a fun. Oh, damn. There we go. Okay, good. I thought I didn't save any of my videos. It was just a fun thing. And I had fun going through them, and it makes me want to actually use them again, because I don't now. I'm too lazy, and I just type in like June, and fuck. I think I put my book that I finished yesterday, because it's July 1st right now, in my June one instead of my July one, because I didn't make one for July yet. Oh no, I gotta go fix that. But yeah, that's all for today. I'll talk to you later, and goodbye.